The ADDS domain is a container. An ADDS domain is a logical container for managing user, computer, group, and other objects. The ADDS database stores all domain objects, and each domain controller stores a copy of the database. The ADDS database includes many types of objects. The most commonly used objects are user accounts, computer accounts, and groups. The following list briefly describes these three object types. The user accounts. User accounts contain information about users, including the information required to authenticate a user during the sign-in process and build the user's access token. Computer accounts. Each domain-joined computer has an account in ADDS. You can use computer accounts for domain-joined computers in the same way that you can use user accounts for users. Groups. Groups organize users or computers to make it easier to manage permissions and group policy in the domain. The ADDS domain is a replication boundary. When you make changes to any object in the domain controller where the change occurred replicates that change to all other domain controllers in the domain. If multiple domains exist in the forest, only subsets of the changes replicate to other domains. ADDS uses a multi-master replication model that allows every domain controller to make changes to objects in the domain. ADDS allows a single domain to contain nearly 2 billion objects. With this much capacity, most organizations can deploy only a single domain to ensure that all domain controllers contain all domain information. However, organizations with decentralized administrative structures or multiple locations might consider implementing multiple domains in the same forest to accommodate their administrative needs. The ADDS domain is an administrative center. The domain contains an administrator account and a domain admins group. By default, the administrator account is a member of the domain admins group, and the domain admins group is a member of every local administrators group of domain-joined computers. Also, by default, the domain admins group members have full control over every object in the domain. The administrator account in the forest root domain has additional rights, as detailed in the "What is an ADDS forest?" topic earlier in this module. The ADDS domain provides authentication. Whenever a domain-joined computer starts or a user signs into a domain-joined computer, ADDS authenticates it. Authentication helps to verify that the computer or user has the proper credentials for an ADDS account. The ADDS domain provides authorization. Windows operating systems use authorization and access control technologies to allow authenticated users to access resources. Typically, authorization occurs locally at the resource level. Domain-based dynamic access control enables central access rules to control the access to resources. Central access rules do not replace the current access control technology, but provide an additional level of control.